Today is the best day of your life. I know, you just woke up. Your hair is probably doing something interesting. The coffee is not ready yet. Someone may have already said something annoying to you. And here comes this woman on your screen, declaring that today, specifically today, this ordinary Tuesday or Wednesday, or whichever day it is that you dragged yourself out of bed for, is the best day of your life. And part of you wants to laugh. Part of you wants to roll your eyes so hard they do a full rotation, and I completely understand that reaction. I do. But here is what I want you to stay for, because this is not about pretending your life is a highlight reel when it very clearly is not. This is about something so much more powerful than that. This is about understanding that the best day of your life is not a day that will eventually arrive when conditions are perfect. It is a day you choose. And you can choose it today, right now, in the exact life you are already living. And by the time this video ends, you are going to understand exactly how to do that, and more importantly, why doing it will change absolutely everything. Now let me meet you where you actually are, because I think that matters more than jumping straight to the sunshine and the affirmations. Some of you woke up this morning already tired. Not from sleep deprivation necessarily, though maybe that too, but from the cumulative weight of days that have started to feel a little samey, a little flat, like you are going through motions that you designed or that were designed for you. And somewhere along the way, the feeling of aliveness that used to live inside those motions quietly slipped out, and you are not entirely sure when it left or where it went. Maybe you can point to a specific time when things felt more vibrant, more possible, more lit up from the inside. Or maybe it has been so long that you cannot quite remember what that felt like, and that is the part that scares you a little, the forgetting. Some of you are in a season of genuine difficulty. Real loss, real struggle, real uncertainty that is not just a mindset issue, but an actual circumstance that is heavy and hard, and not something a cheerful affirmation is going to fix overnight. And I am not here to minimize that. What you are carrying is real. Your grief is real. Your exhaustion is real. Your fear is real. And none of those things make you broken or ungrateful or spiritually behind. They make you human. They make you a person who is living an actual life rather than a curated version of one. And the fact that you are here, watching this, looking for something, reaching towards something, even in the middle of the difficulty, that reaching is one of the most beautiful things I know about human beings. We keep reaching, even when we are tired, even when we are not sure what we are reaching toward. We keep our hand out. That is you today. And that hand outstretched is already a form of joy, whether it feels like it yet or not. But let us talk about the real problem here, because there is a very specific reason why so many people spend so much of their lives waiting for the best day to arrive, rather than experiencing it now. And it is not a character flaw, it is a cognitive pattern. The human brain has something called negativity bias, and this is not a personal failing, this is evolution. Your brain was designed, literally wired by millions of years of survival pressure, to weight negative experiences more heavily than positive ones. A threat to survival needed to be remembered vividly and permanently. A pleasant afternoon in the sun could be forgotten without consequence. So your brain is doing exactly what it was built to do when it notices the thing that went wrong more readily than the thing that went right. When it lies awake, rehearsing the difficult conversation, rather than resting in the memory of the beautiful moment. When it scans the horizon for danger, rather than settling into the present moment in gratitude. That is not pessimism. That is a brain doing its original job in a world it was not designed for. The problem is that we no longer live in the world the brain was designed for. We are not running from predators on a daily basis. Most of our threats are not life or death. They are inconvenient, uncomfortable, disappointing, frustrating, sometimes genuinely painful, but not the kind of immediate physical threat that the negativity bias was built to handle. And yet the brain is still running that ancient software, still treating the critical email from your boss as though it is a lion, still treating social embarrassment as though it is exile from the tribe, still treating financial worry as though it signals imminent starvation. And so, we spend enormous amounts of our mental and emotional energy in a state of low-grade threat response, when we could be, if we learned how to work with the brain rather than against it, in a state of genuine presence, genuine joy, genuine aliveness, not by ignoring real problems, but by training the brain deliberately and consistently to give equal weight to what is good, what is beautiful, what is working, what is already worthy of celebration in this ordinary, extraordinary day. This is not Pollyanna thinking. This is neuroscience. And it is also incredibly practical, because a brain that has been trained to notice the good is not a less intelligent brain. It is not a naive brain. It is actually a more effective brain. It solves problems better. It makes decisions better. It connects with other people better. It is more creative, more resilient, more capable of genuine happiness. So, when I say today can be the best day of your life, what I'm really saying is this: today can be the day you begin training your brain to live more fully in the life that is already happening. And that training, started today, practiced daily, compounded over time, will produce a version of you that genuinely experiences most days as good days. Not because life becomes perfect, but because you become someone who knows how to find the gold in the ordinary. Let us talk about how. Because beautiful ideas without practical handles are just very inspiring clouds, and we need to actually fly the plane. Step 1. Begin with the practice of the first 5 minutes. The first 5 minutes after you wake up are some of the most neurologically significant minutes of your entire day. Your brain is transitioning from sleep to waking consciousness, and during that transition, it is in a highly suggestible state. Whatever you put into those first 5 minutes sets the tone for your neurochemistry for hours afterward. Most of us, through no fault of our own, have developed a first 5 minutes habit that looks something like: alarm goes off, grab phone, check notifications, read something mildly alarming, feel the cortisol spike, and start the day already on the back foot. I am not judging that. I understand that. The phone is right there, and the world is loud, and the habit is strong. But I want to offer you an experiment. Just for today, and maybe for the next 7 days, try something different with those first 5 minutes. Before the phone, before the news, before the to-do list rushes in like an uninvited crowd, lie still for 60 seconds and say, out loud, if you can manage it, even in a whisper: today is the best day of my life. I am alive. I am here. I am open to the good that this day holds. And then take 3 slow breaths and let your body arrive into the day from that place of intentional welcome rather than anxious reactivity. This one shift, practiced consistently, will produce noticeable changes in your baseline mood within 2 weeks. I say that not as a promise, but as a pattern I have observed in more people than I can count. Step 2. Practice what I call the 3-breath joy, reset throughout the day. Here is the truth about joy that nobody really talks about. Joy is not a permanent state. It is not a destination you arrive at and then stay in forever, floating above the ordinary frustrations of life on a cloud of enlightened bliss. Joy is a practice. It is something you return to, again and again, throughout the day, whenever you have drifted away from it. And the drift is normal. The drift is human. You get caught in traffic, and you drift. You have a difficult interaction, and you drift. You read something worrying, and you drift. The practice is not to never drift. The practice is to know how to return. And the 3-breath joy reset is one of the simplest and most effective return mechanisms I know. When you notice you have drifted into irritation or anxiety or flatness, just pause. Take 1 breath and notice one thing you can see that has any beauty in it at all. The light through the window, the color of your coffee mug, your own hands. Then take a 2nd breath and notice one thing you can feel physically that is neutral or pleasant. Your feet on the floor, the temperature of the air, the weight of the chair beneath you. Then take a 3rd breath and say, either out loud or internally, I am here. This moment is mine. Something good is in this day. 3 breaths, 30 seconds, and you have returned. You have chosen your day again. Step 3. Redefine what counts as a best day moment. This is perhaps the most liberating step of all, and also the most immediately actionable. Most of us have an unconscious definition of a best day that looks something like a highlight reel. The promotion, the wedding, the milestone birthday, the vacation, the breakthrough. The moment where everything came together in a way that felt cinematic and significant. And those moments are real and they are precious, but they are also rare. If your definition of a best day requires cinematic conditions, you are going to have very few best days in your lifetime. So I want you to expand your definition. What if a best day is any day that contains at least one moment of genuine connection, one moment of laughter that arrived unexpectedly, one moment where you tasted something and actually noticed how good it tasted, one moment where you helped someone and felt the warmth of that in your chest, one moment where you were fully present in your own life instead of rehearsing the past or worrying about the future? What if those moments, which are available on virtually any day regardless of circumstances, are actually what best days are made of? What if you have been surrounded by best day material all along and just did not have the eyes to see it? Step 4. Build a joy anchor into your daily routine. A joy anchor is something specific, concrete, and sensory that you associate so strongly with feeling good that simply doing it signals your nervous system to relax and open. For some people, it is a particular song. For others, it is a specific walk they take, a ritual cup of tea they make with actual intention rather than autopilot, a journal they write in, a moment of sitting in the sun with their face turned upward, a phone call with someone who makes them laugh without fail. The key is that it has to be something that is fully available to you on an ordinary day, not something that requires special circumstances or lots of planning. Find your joy anchor, and then protect it. Put it in your day like an appointment you do not cancel. Because in a life where everything feels negotiable and the urgent always crowds out the important, that daily joy anchor is your declaration that your happiness is not optional. Your aliveness is not a luxury. It is the whole point. Step 5. Practice radical present moment appreciation, which is a fancy way of saying, stop saving your joy for later. Oh, we are all so good at this one, aren't we? We will be happy when the kids are older. We will enjoy life when we have more money. We will take time for ourselves when things settle down. We will appreciate what we have when we have more of it. We will be present when we are not so busy. And the future keeps arriving, and somehow it always comes with its own new set of conditions before we are allowed to feel good. The happiness keeps getting deferred, and years pass. And the life that was happening while we were waiting to enjoy it has already become the past. Today, right now, I want to give you permission. Permission to enjoy your life in its current, imperfect, incomplete, still in progress state. Permission to find this ordinary day delightful, without having earned that delight through enough productivity or achievement or self-improvement. Permission to be someone who loves their life right now, with everything missing that is still missing, with everything broken that is still broken, with everything unresolved that is still unresolved. You are allowed to love it anyway. You are allowed to feel joy anyway. You are allowed to call today the best day of your life anyway. Because the alternative is waiting, and the alternative is a life half-lived. Step 6. Speak the best day into existence with your words throughout the day. Pay attention today to how many times you narrate your day negatively before it even really gets started. Mondays. I'm so tired. This is going to be a long one. Nothing ever goes smoothly. And I am not saying you need to become one of those aggressively positive people who exhausts everyone around them by refusing to acknowledge that anything is ever less than wonderful. You do not have to do that, and frankly, nobody around you would survive it. But there is a middle ground between toxic positivity and reflexive negativity. There is an honest appreciation for the mix of things. You can say this morning has been challenging and I am still finding moments of good in it. You can say I am tired and I am also grateful to be here. You can say today has not gone as planned and also something unexpectedly lovely happened. Hold both. Name both. Because what you narrate, you inhabit. And a person who narrates their day as good, even imperfectly good, even stubbornly good in the face of annoyance and difficulty, becomes someone who genuinely experiences more good. Not because the day changed, because the narrator did. Now, I want to talk about one more thing, and it is the thing that underlies all of this, the foundation everything else rests on. Joy. Real sustainable joy, the kind that does not require perfect circumstances to show up, is rooted in one thing: a fundamental sense of being glad that you exist. Not proud of your achievements, not satisfied with your circumstances, not optimistic about the future, just glad. Glad to be here, glad to be alive. Glad that the universe went through the extraordinary, incomprehensible effort of assembling the exact combination of stardust and experience and consciousness that is you, because it did. You are not an accident. You are not a disappointment. You are not a work in progress that will finally be worth celebrating when it is finished. You are right now, in this messy, beautiful, unfinished, absolutely remarkable state, something worth celebrating. The best day of your life can be today, because you are in it, and you being in it is enough to make it worth something. Here is your call to action. Right now, before this video ends, I want you to do one thing. Take out your phone, not to scroll, but to write. Open your notes or your messages or whatever is easiest, and write down 3 things that are already good about today. They can be microscopic. The fact that you are breathing, the fact that you had access to this video, the fact that somewhere outside a bird is probably doing something slightly ridiculous and unbothered. 3 things. Write them. And then in the comments below, share one of them with me. Tell me one good thing that is already in your day, right now, in whatever circumstances you are in, because I want to read them. And because there is something that happens when you name your good things in community, with other people who are also naming theirs. The good gets bigger, the frequency of joy gets louder, and someone else reading your comment might find exactly the reminder they needed. Share this video with someone who is in a hard season right now. Someone who needs someone to come alongside them and say, hey, there is still good in your day, and you are still allowed to feel it. Be that person for someone today. Subscribe and come back, because every week we go deeper into this work, the joyful, practical, genuinely life-changing work of choosing to live fully in the life we already have, while calling in everything that is still to come. And I want you here for all of it. I want to leave you with this, and I mean every single word of it. The best day of your life is not somewhere out in the future, waiting for you to earn it, waiting for conditions to align, waiting for the version of you that has finally fixed all the things and achieved all the things and healed all the things. The best day of your life is made of moments, small ones, mostly. A laugh in an ordinary kitchen, a ray of light through an ordinary window, a breath taken consciously in an ordinary body that is doing the extraordinary work of keeping you alive. A choice made quietly and on purpose to notice the good, to name the good, to feel the good, even for 30 seconds, even in the middle of a hard day. Even when the old brain is running its old programming and the negativity bias is doing its ancient job, you are bigger than your programming. You are wiser than your fear. You are capable of joy on any day, in any season, in any circumstance. And today, this specific, ordinary, unrepeatable, already miraculous day is the perfect day to prove it. Go and live it, with everything you have, with all the joy your beautiful heart can hold. This is the best day of your life. Go make sure it knows that.